You've probably noticed it without fully understanding why. Men lean in closer to certain women without being invited. They think about them longer. They replay conversations. They feel a strange tension they can't name. And the most confusing part is this. These women aren't chasing, persuading, or proving anything. They are detached. Not cold, not distant, not unavailable. Detached in a deeper, almost unsettling way. A detached woman doesn't pull energy toward herself. She stops leaking it outward. And this changes everything. Most people believe desire is created through effort, attention, reassurance, emotional labor. But that belief is rooted in fear. Fear of being overlooked. Fear of being replaced. Fear of not being enough. And fear always makes noise. A detached woman is quiet inside. She doesn't hurry to be chosen. She doesn't rush to explain herself. She doesn't chase clarity or closeness. And because of that, her presence feels dense, like something with gravity. As Carl Jung said, the soul does not grow by addition, but by subtraction. What she subtracts is urgency, need, emotional negotiation, and what remains is power. Men don't become fixated on her because she withholds affection. They become fixated because nothing in her is grasping. There is no open loop of need they can resolve by pulling away or returning. No emotional lever to control her reactions. This is where addiction begins. The male psyche is deeply responsive to contrast. When a woman is emotionally independent, she disrupts a familiar pattern. Distance no longer creates pursuit. Silence no longer causes collapse. Ambiguity no longer destabilizes her. And this forces a man to confront something uncomfortable, his own dependency. In Jung's view, whatever we cannot control outside of us reveals what we have not integrated inside of us. A detached woman mirrors exactly that. She reflects calm where chaos is expected, stability where insecurity hopes to dominate. She doesn't need him to feel whole. And paradoxically, that's when he starts wanting her most. Because desire is not born from pressure. It's born from freedom meeting restraint. This is only the beginning. In the next part, we'll explore why emotional independence doesn't push men away. It hooks their nervous system in ways pursuit never could. What most people misunderstand is this. Men don't become attached through words or promises. They become attached through nervous system engagement. A detached woman doesn't stimulate chaos. She interrupts it. When a man encounters emotional independence, something subtle happens inside him. His usual emotional strategies stop working. Withdrawal doesn't provoke pursuit. Distance doesn't create panic. Silence doesn't invite explanation. And the nervous system hates unresolved patterns. He begins to feel something that is deeply unsettling. His presence matters, but it is not required. In Jung's psychology, fixation emerges when the unconscious encounters something it cannot dominate or fully understand. The psyche circles it, returns to it, replays it, not because it is denied, but because it is self-contained. A detached woman is self-contained. She doesn't seek emotional regulation from him. She doesn't outsource her safety, worth, or stability. And because of that, his system cannot complete her emotionally. There is no release valve, no final reassurance, no closure through control. This creates fixation. Men are conditioned to bond through influence, to feel close when they can affect a woman's emotional state. When that influence is absent, the bond flips direction. He starts tracking her instead of himself. He notices her absence more than her presence. He feels the weight of not being central. He becomes hyper-aware of his own reactions. And this is crucial. Fixation is not desire for possession, it's desire for resonance. Her emotional independence creates a steady frequency. His nervous system, used to volatility, begins to tune itself to her calm. That tuning feels addictive because it is regulating. As Jung would say, where love rules, there is no will to power. And where the will to power fails, authenticity is exposed. He doesn't chase because she withholds. He circles because she doesn't need him to stay. And somewhere inside, he realizes something quietly devastating. If he leaves, nothing collapses, but something is lost. In the next part, we'll uncover why this dynamic activates male attachment without effort and why chasing actually breaks the very bond women try to create. Here is the paradox most women were never taught. The moment you chase emotional closeness, you remove the very tension that creates desire. Chasing feels like love, but psychologically, it signals self-abandonment. And the nervous system reads that instantly, not as devotion, but as imbalance. A detached woman does something radically different. She stays connected without collapsing inward. She allows space without dramatizing it. She allows distance without interpreting it as rejection. She allows uncertainty without rushing to resolve it. And this is where fixation deepens. When a woman chases, she absorbs emotional instability into herself. She tries to regulate the connection. She explains, reassures, adjusts, waits. And in doing so, she unconsciously tells the man, I will carry the emotional weight for both of us. Desire dies there. But a detached woman refuses that role. She doesn't punish. She doesn't withdraw to provoke. She simply doesn't overfunction emotionally. In Jung's language, she is no longer projecting her anima onto the man. She has reclaimed it. Her emotional center stays within her own psyche, and that forces him to confront his own inner imbalance. This is why chasing repels, while detachment attracts. Not because men enjoy distance, but because detachment returns responsibility to where it belongs. When she stops chasing, he feels something unfamiliar. His actions matter. His absence has weight. His effort is no longer optional. And that creates internal pressure. As Jung said, what you resist persists. What you accept transforms. The detached woman accepts uncertainty without fighting it, and that transforms the entire dynamic. She doesn't ask to be chosen. She observes who chooses consistently, and men feel this as a quiet challenge, not to win her, but to meet her. In the next part, we'll go deeper into why emotionally detached women feel rare, almost dangerous to the male psyche, and why men often confuse this feeling with obsession. There is a reason emotionally detached women feel unforgettable to men. They are not common. Most people bond through emotional urgency. They rush intimacy. They collapse boundaries in the name of closeness. They confuse intensity with depth. And men grow familiar with this rhythm early in life. A detached woman breaks that rhythm. She doesn't rush access to her inner world. She doesn't confuse availability with value. She doesn't perform closeness to secure attachment. And this creates something the male psyche rarely encounters: emotional scarcity without manipulation. In Jung's view, the psyche becomes obsessed not with what is denied, but with what remains unintegrated. A detached woman is not a puzzle begging to be solved. She is a presence that cannot be absorbed. And that feels dangerous, because danger, psychologically, is anything that threatens unconscious control. She cannot be destabilized by inconsistency. She cannot be pulled closer through withdrawal. She cannot be anchored through promises alone. So his usual strategies fail. What replaces them is fascination. Men often mistake this for obsession, but it's deeper than that. Obsession tries to possess. Fascination tries to understand. And a detached woman cannot be understood through access, only through alignment. Her calm exposes his inner restlessness. Her fullness reveals his hunger. Her groundedness reflects where he is fragmented. As Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. She irritates without provoking. She unsettles without accusation. And that tension lingers. Because she doesn't need to be chosen, she becomes someone worth choosing carefully. Because she doesn't demand commitment, commitment becomes meaningful. Because she doesn't chase intimacy, intimacy must be earned through presence, not performance. This is why emotionally detached women feel addictive. Not because they play games, but because they refuse to abandon themselves. In the next part, we'll explore the quiet difference between emotional detachment and emotional unavailability, and why men instinctively feel that difference, even when they can't explain it. This is where many people get confused. They think detachment means distance. They think independence means coldness. They think emotional power requires withdrawal. It doesn't. A detached woman is not emotionally unavailable. She is emotionally anchored. And men feel this difference immediately. not intellectually, but viscerally. Emotional unavailability feels empty. It feels flat. There is no warmth behind the wall, no presence behind the silence. It creates confusion, not attraction. But emotional detachment feels full. She listens without absorbing. She connects without dissolving. She feels without losing herself. Her boundaries are not defensive, they are natural. In Jung's psychology, this is the difference between repression and integration. An unavailable person represses emotion. A detached woman has integrated it. She is not afraid of closeness. She simply doesn't need it to survive. And this is why men trust her more. Because her connection isn't fueled by fear. Her affection isn't a strategy. Her presence isn't conditional on reassurance. She can sit in intimacy without trying to control the outcome. She can enjoy closeness without demanding permanence. She can allow attraction without rushing into identity fusion. This creates emotional safety. And safety is intoxicating to a nervous system that is used to volatility. As Jung said, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. A detached woman has done exactly that. And in doing so, she no longer asks another person to complete her. Men sense this immediately. They feel that her interest is real, not transactional. They feel that her affection is chosen, not needed. They feel that her presence is generous, not desperate. And because of that, they lean in. Not because she disappears, but because she remains whole. In the next part, we'll explore why emotional independence creates attraction without pressure, and how men begin to pursue naturally when nothing is being demanded from them. Here is the quiet truth most women never hear. Men don't pull away from women who want connection. They pull away from emotional obligation. A detached woman removes obligation entirely. She doesn't pressure outcomes. She doesn't negotiate feelings. She doesn't measure connection by frequency, intensity, or promises. She lets reality speak. And when pressure disappears, something unexpected happens. Desire rises on its own. A man begins to approach her not because he feels cornered, but because he feels curious. He feels invited into something alive, not responsible for something fragile. This is where pursuit becomes natural. In Jung's view, attraction strengthens when the ego is not being coerced, but called forward. A detached woman does exactly that. She doesn't demand growth, she embodies it. Her life is already full. Her emotions are already regulated. Her sense of self is already intact. So when she shares space with a man, he feels like an addition, not a solution. And that changes everything. Instead of reacting to her emotions, he begins to invest. Instead of resisting expectation, he begins to choose. Instead of managing distance, he begins to close it voluntarily. Why? Because emotional independence activates masculine polarity without triggering defense. There is nothing to rebel against, nothing to escape, nothing to control, only something to step toward. As Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. A detached woman doesn't illuminate his darkness. She allows him to see it himself. And when a man realizes that closeness with her doesn't cost him his freedom, but actually requires his presence, pursuit stops being exhausting. It becomes intentional. In the next part, we'll explore why emotionally detached women don't hold men through attachment. They hold them through self-respect, and why this creates bonds that don't fade with time or familiarity. Attachment tries to bind. Self-respect creates gravity. This is the distinction that changes everything. When a woman relies on attachment, the bond depends on reassurance, consistency, and constant emotional confirmation. The connection survives only as long as it is fed. And over time, it becomes heavy. A detached woman does something radically different. She doesn't bind him to her. She anchors herself. Her standards are quiet but immovable. Her values don't fluctuate with attention. Her sense of worth doesn't rise or fall based on his behavior. And this is why men stay. Not because they are afraid of losing her, but because they recognize that being with her requires integrity. In Jung's psychology, respect arises when the ego encounters something it cannot manipulate without consequence. A woman with self-respect does not punish inconsistency. She simply does not adapt to it. She doesn't argue with reality. She responds to it. If presence is offered, she meets it. If absence appears, she adjusts inwardly, not outwardly. This creates a powerful internal shift in a man. He realizes that access to her is not maintained through words, intensity, or emotional drama, but through alignment, through showing up in a way that matches her internal order. And order is deeply attractive. As Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. A detached woman has already stepped into that privilege, and anyone who wishes to walk beside her must do the same. This is why the bond doesn't decay with time, because it isn't fueled by anxiety. It isn't sustained by fear. It isn't held together by emotional glue. It's held by mutual self-respect. And self-respect doesn't fade. It deepens. In the next part, we'll explore why men often become more emotionally invested over time with detached women, while the woman remains calm, grounded, and free. There is a quiet reversal that happens over time with emotionally detached women. While she remains steady, regulated, and internally anchored, his emotional investment deepens. And this confuses many men, because they expect attachment to grow through intensity, through more time, more words, more reassurance. But with her, nothing escalates on the surface. There are no dramatic shifts, no emotional negotiations, no attempts to secure the bond. Yet inside him, something keeps tightening. In Jung's view, the psyche attaches most strongly to what supports individuation, not dependency. A detached woman does not pull a man into fusion. She pulls him towards self-awareness. He begins to notice himself more around her. His reactions, his intentions, his inconsistencies, and awareness creates investment. Because once a man becomes conscious of how he shows up, he cannot unknow it. He starts choosing his actions instead of defaulting to habit. He starts caring not because she demands it, but because he is present enough to feel it. This is why time works in her favor. She does not rush emotional milestones. She does not anchor the bond through promises. She allows connection to deepen organically through experience and alignment. And because there is no emotional pressure, his nervous system stays open. He feels safe enough to invest slowly, and slowly is how depth forms. As Jung said, patience is the waiting of the soul. A detached woman is patient because she is not afraid of time revealing truth. She doesn't fear losing him. She trusts that what belongs will remain, and what doesn't cannot be held anyway. That trust is disarming. It invites him to step forward not out of fear of loss, but out of desire to be part of something grounded, real, and emotionally adult. In the next part, we'll reach the heart of it all. Why detached women don't just attract men, they change how men love. This is the part few people talk about. Detached women don't just attract men. They restructure the way men experience love. Because love with her does not revolve around reassurance, control, or emotional dependency. It revolves around presence. A man who stays with a detached woman cannot love on autopilot. He cannot disappear and return unchanged. He cannot offer words without alignment. He cannot rely on intensity to replace consistency. And slowly, something shifts inside him. In Jung's view, real love is not fusion. It is individuation alongside another. A detached woman embodies this. She does not merge identities. She walks beside, and that forces a man to remain conscious of who he is becoming in her presence. He starts to associate love not with emotional highs and lows, but with clarity, not with urgency, but with depth, not with possession, but with responsibility. This is why men often say, without fully understanding it, "She changed me," not because she taught, not because she demanded, but because she refused to participate in unconscious patterns. Her calm becomes a mirror. Her self-respect becomes a standard. Her boundaries become an invitation to maturity. As Carl Jung said, love is not a sentiment, but the highest form of commitment. And commitment only appears when freedom is preserved. A detached woman preserves freedom, hers and his. And because of that, when a man chooses her, it is not out of fear of losing her. It is out of recognition. Recognition that this kind of connection cannot be replaced. Recognition that this level of emotional adulthood is rare. Recognition that love does not ask him to shrink. it asks him to rise. In the final part, we will bring everything together, and you'll see why emotional independence is not a strategy, but a return to the deepest truth of feminine power. Now everything comes together. Emotional independence is not a tactic. It is not a performance. It is not a way to get a man. It is a return. A return to the part of you that does not bargain for love. A return to the part of you that does not shrink to be chosen. A return to the part of you that knows. Connection is not something you secure. It is something you allow. A detached woman does not harden herself against love. She softens without collapsing. And this is the deepest form of feminine power. Because she no longer asks a man to confirm her value. She lets life respond to it. In the language of Carl Jung, this is individuation, the moment a woman becomes whole within herself. And wholeness is magnetic because it does not need to take. It invites. Men feel this immediately. They sense that her presence is not trying to fill a void. They sense that her love is not a transaction. They sense that her attachment is a choice, not a survival instinct. And that changes how they approach her. They slow down. They become more deliberate. They become more honest with themselves. Not because she demanded it, but because being with her requires consciousness. This is why detached women feel addictive. Not because they hook men, but because they free them from unconscious patterns, and the psyche resists going back to sleep once it has tasted awareness. A woman like this does not compete. She does not prove. She does not chase. She lives. And those who are capable of meeting her will rise. Those who are not will fade, quietly, without drama. And she will remain calm either way, because she finally understands the truth. Love that costs you yourself is not love. Attention that requires self-abandonment is not desire. Connection that asks you to shrink is not intimacy. When a woman stands in emotional independence, she doesn't need to be unforgettable. She already is. And the men who feel it for a very long time.